this week's how-to. I have had so many requests to share skincare and makeup, so we're going to be doing the whole shebang from morning to makeup to evening routine this week. We're up in Scotland, and I thought that this was a great one because I could share the essentials that I bring with me. And if I'm going away for more than 2 nights, I bring my skincare and I want to kind of pamper myself. We're up here for rest, relaxation, recharging and pampering. So I have bought more than I would normally take on holiday with me, if that makes sense, because I just thought, I've got the time, I can pamper myself. So I am fresh out of the shower, and the first thing that I'm going to do, I normally do this a few times a week, don't often have time in the morning, but actually this is only a few minutes, and this is the ZIIP Halo. It's a great bit of kit, and if I've got time in the mornings, then I do this. I've got some silver gel with it, and you want to do it when you haven't got any makeup on, and yeah, pop some of the gel into your hands. Now I normally do it with the app on my phone, and that talks me through what I'm doing, so I can do like lymphatic drainage, I can do, you know, I could target it, but I'm filming on my phone, so we can't do that. But I'm just going to show you the principle of how it works. You turn it on, and then you literally just do this. And I don't know if you heard that vibration, but when it vibrates, you move on. And I do 3 on this side. So this is what I would do if I'm not doing it with an app, and I would then do 3 on this side. And because I don't go for microneedling, Botox, all that jazz, I would rather spend time doing this sort of thing at home to help improve my skin and you know, firmness, all the rest of it, but naturally at home, rather than going into a salon and having slightly more invasive treatments. And then we can get, I've got a real train track between my eyebrows, but this, and it also feels really calming. Like if you've got a headache, this is just wonderful. And we can go up like this. You want to basically push everything up and out to the side, if that makes sense. So that is the ZIIP Halo, and I probably use that 3 times a week. I'm just going to turn it off. Now I'm going to whiz into the bathroom and just rinse that off because it's a little bit jelly-like. And then I just wipe the excess gel off there. It's important that you keep that little bit in, and then I pop it back in its pouch. So ZIIP sent this to me to try, and I do love it, which is why I'm sharing it with you. I wanted to put it through its paces, try it out and see what I think. But, you know, it's just helping, I am sure. So I then go in with the Caudalie Eau de Beauty Elixir Soothing Glowing Complexion. I was using rose water, but actually I went in and I bought a few Caudalie products. This has the most incredible reputation, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to try it. This is the 2nd bottle. I've been using it for a while, so just give it a good spritz over my face. And you can do this throughout the day if you want to. So normally, if I'm not using the ZIIP Halo, I will just step out of the shower, spritz my face. I don't cleanse in the morning. I do a double cleanse at night. Right, towel off the head. You really are seeing all of it. I then use the volume and root lifting spray from Living Proof. This spritz is not working so well. I have to wait for it and then spray. I don't think it liked flying, but I give my hair a good spritz with this. I then gently brush that through. Right, the next thing I go in with is this. It's from Roche-Posay. They actually sent it to me to try, and I love it so much. I have bought a second bottle, one to have on my nightstand and one to have on my dressing table, because it's best to use it twice a day, and it's an intensive concentrate to tackle dark spots and pigmentation. It's Mela B3 serum, and La Roche-Posay have got the most incredible reputation when it comes to skincare, particularly like sun damaged. Their SPF is a product that I have used for a long time. Have tried a few others. I've gone back to La Roche-Posay SPF. I'll show you that in a minute. But I suddenly had a bit of a breakout of my pigmentation. I was like, we need to nip this in the bud. I'm going to try that La Roche-Posay. I've now been using it for over 6 weeks and I love it. I think it has made a big, big difference. I have to be very careful of what I use on my skin because of pigmentation, and it's hormonal based. It started after I had a Mirena coil fitted. I actually had to have the coil taken out because it didn't suit me and it caused skin pigmentation, and that was 14 years ago, and I've never been able to fully get rid of it. So these are the things that I do to help even out my skin tone. And this I'm absolutely loving. I obviously didn't bring the second bottle with me. That is still at home on my nightstand. But what I do at night, and I will take you through my night routine tonight, but I put my CurrentBody mask on in bed, and then once I've taken it off, I do my night routine. And so I don't get out of bed again. I just stay in bed, and I will do it in between reading a bit of my book or chatting to Sai or whatever it might be. So it's just really handy. If I don't have it there on my bedside table, I forget about using it, and then it's not going to work so well. So I go in with that. I let it sink in until I can feel like it's properly been absorbed by my skin. And then we do vitamin C, which is in here. My flat lay. I've got using this pouch for my skincare while I'm up here. I'm actually going to leave that to sink in slightly longer, and I'm going to go in with eye cream. This is Take Back Time from Trinny, London. I've been using this product now well over a year or more. This is probably my 4th, if not 5th pot, but you only use a tiny bit, and so one pot lasts a very long time. I love this. It's actually got I think it's got caffeine in or something, which is really good, but I love it, and my eyes love it, which is the most important thing. So I just pop that around there like so, let that soak in, and then I use my vitamin C. I have gone back to using the one from Dermatica. I use a product of theirs at night, and I have gone back to using this one. It is a fresh batch of ascorbic acid and vitamin C, and you have to use it by the 20th of December 2025. If you don't, it changes colour, and I just know that it's kind of active and got all the goodness in. They do go off, and there was one I found and I was like, that's a funny colour. Then I looked at the use by date on it and I was like, oh yes, that's why. I don't go too close to my eyes. I've just put my eye cream on. So there is a vitamin C, and it's really important that you use vitamin C if you are using a sort of retinol or treatment. And because I am using Dermatica at night, it's really important that I use vitamin C, and that one really suits me and works well. So I am sticking with it. I have been using Dermatica now for, I'd say, almost 2 years. It's been quite a while, and I love their products. I take pictures, I upload them, I send them via their website. The dermatologist checks it over, tweaks my, prescription, and then sends it out in the post to me. And we are tackling wrinkles, we are tackling aging, and we are tackling the pigmentation, which was so much worse. But anyway, yeah, there we are. That is that. I let that soak in and make the bed, get dressed, and then I go in with the Roche-Posay. This is the anti-dark spot fluid, designed in conjunction with this. And because I had a bit of a breakout, I really noticed it when I was filming without makeup, and I was like, whoa, your pigmentation has popped, girlie. Right, you need to concentrate on your skincare, the products that you're using. And I had this from La Roche-Posay that they sent to me, and I was like, right, we're gonna try this, we're gonna give this a go. And as I said, that was a little while ago. Love it. So I then, once I can feel that that Vitsy has sunk in, which probably needs another few minutes, I then put my SPF on all year round. I know there are some people that are like, you shouldn't use SPFs, blah, 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 but I do. I'm a big fan, and it is each to your own. And when I went to Beauty Pie and I went in the anti-aging, like it's not anti-aging, read your skin machine, it said that I was a year younger than I actually am, and that my sun damage was minimal. And that is because I've turned it round by really taking care of the products that I'm using and using an SPF every day. And that has made a big difference to the aging of the skin on my face. And I want to look as good as I possibly can for as long as I possibly can. So, you know, this routine might be excessive for some, it might not be, it might be, you know, something that you're already doing, but I want to look as good as possible. And so I know that these products are helping, and so I'm sticking with. Anyway, once that has soaked in, we will pop that on, and maybe I might get dressed quickly in between. And I'm sure a few of you will ask where my nightie is from, and it is from If Only If. Now, I have been buying nighties from If Only If since, well, I don't know, Chelsea Town Hall, like 14 years ago, maybe longer. And Izzy, who set it up, was a stall holder. I was a stall holder there with my previous business, and I just loved their nighties so much. Bought a couple, and then Izzy's daughter Emily has taken on the business, and she took it on 5 years ago and has expanded the range. And it is wonderful seeing this little business that I met right at the start with Emily's mother Izzy flourished into this wonderful company. But gorgeous nighties, quite long down to there, and it's a really cozy fabric, particularly for up here in Scotland. I have actually been sleeping with bed socks. That is how nippy it has been, but the sun is shining and it is a really beautiful morning. I'm going to throw my clothes on and then we will do the rest. Right, dressed and ready, and now I'm going to pop my SPF on, blow dry my hair, and then I'm ready to put my makeup on. So the only problem with this is it's a bit liquidy. It's not that easy to apply, but make sure you put a decent amount on, otherwise there is no point. Totally crazy hair, I know. I use the Dyson and I've got a video of how I blow dry it. It will calm down dramatically and then be perfect, but I get as much volume in it as possible and then just give it a brush through. I love the Dyson, and I definitely think it's helped not pull out much of my hair when I'm drying it. Before I used a heated brush, and definitely it pulled out a lot of hair as I was drying it, which is not good. So that will just settle down. I'm going to pop my clip in and do my makeup. Right, makeup. I use the Dr. Jart BB Premium Beauty Balm Multitasker with niacinamide. Hydrates, conceals, protects, SPF 50 as well. This stuff is insane. I love it. I've been using it maybe for like 3 years. I use the shade Light Medium. I put 1 pump, maybe 1.5, onto my hand, and I use my fingers, and I don't use a concealer or a foundation or anything. I just use this, and I find that now I'm sort of 45 and, you know, a bit older, more mature skin. This works really, really well. I absolutely love it. I'm sure you could just use this without an SPF, but because of my skin pigmentation problems, I go in with all the SPFs. So I just pop it on like this. And then just to make sure that you don't have a tied line and I don't want my makeup to transfer onto my white collar, I just use a tissue and I just wipe off the excess just to make sure that it's nicely blended and not going to get onto my collar. I use a cotton bud. I've got another mirror there, so if you wonder where I'm looking, it is into that mirror because I find it weird looking into this mirror too closely. I don't know why, but I've always struggled. I just wipe off any excess that is stuck in my eyebrows because you don't want that. This is the Jane Iredale Mineral Press Powder Compact, I think. I use a shade Latte, and I just think the combination of the Dr. Jart and this works perfectly. It sets it so I don't have to worry about my face for the rest of the day. Yes, maybe if we're going out in the evenings, I might do a little touch up. But I find this isn't cakey, it's not heavy, it doesn't sit in the fine lines, wrinkles, creases. Maybe if I've been frowning really badly, I might get a little bit of something there that needs just a little wipe over. But it has to have been a really bad day for that to occur. So I just pop a good layer. And actually this works really well. It's just, you can just use it by itself. And the more you put on, the more it kind of builds up. So the combo, I find, of those two is a perfect natural base without looking too heavy, too kind of clunky. A little bit of Elizabeth Arden 8 Hour on my lips. Just a little bit, because I'm going to do something else in a minute. But I just want them to soften. Possibly can hear Simon in the shower behind me. Always curl my eyelashes and hold it up like that to get the best curl. Then my essential Trinny stack that comes absolutely everywhere with me. I don't know if we've got the best light here. I think the light's okay. Right, this one is called Swala. Hang on, let's unpop it and you can see. Can I unpop it? Hang on, let me attach it and unpop it. There. That is, it is their Golden Glow Gel Bronzant, and I adore it. So the Trinny team got in touch with me a few years ago and said, Charlie, can we send you some products? And I said no, because I don't know how to use them. I wouldn't know what to put where. I find the Trinny makeup quite intimidating looking. But I'd love to come and learn how to use it rather than you send me the products. So I went up to their studio that they don't have anymore because they've now got their flagship store in Chelsea. I went to their studio and I had the most incredible experience, and I got to learn how and where to use the products, and I've been doing exactly the same ever since. I have changed my blush colour, which is Freddie. I have a couple of other colours depending on the season, but this is just a beautiful colour. Now this is what they call a lip to cheek. So the makeup artist told me to go along here and up to my hairline. So that is what I do. do as I'm told. And you can use this on your lips as well. I'm not going to use this on my lips because I'm going to use something else. But this is what I do with Freddie. And it is a great colour for this time of year. Just lovely, natural blush. So there we are. And then if I'm going in with eyeshadow, I use a little bit of Mystery, but I'm not going to use any while I'm up in Scotland because I think it's too much. But that's what I use in the evening. Then, in fact, let's do lips now. I've got 2 shades. These are the Wonder Blading Lip Masks. All Day Lip Stain. And this is XOXO. I don't know if you can see. This is a little bit pinker. This one is quite strong, and sometimes if I'm looking grumpy, I can look quite severe. So I'm just using this one. It's a little bit more natural. The other one's a little bit more colour. It's probably better for the evening or an event or something. So just put this on. You do not want to leave this on too long. It works very quickly, and yes, you look utterly ridiculous. And then just wipe it off with a tissue or whatever. I'm going to use a wipe, and there we are. But there, just a little bit of colour, I think, lifts your face. And then I could put a little bit of Bella, which is a lip glow from Trinny over the top, or just my Elizabeth Arden. But that will last and just look a little bit better. I am not great with lipsticks. To be honest, they scare me. I think my mother traumatised me as a child because she wore a bright red lip the entire time. Yes, I mean the entire time. I'm not exaggerating. Then these are my 2 favourite from Trinny. Line to Define eyeliner. This is Samantha. This is a dark indigo. This is sort of like a navy blue. And then this is the bronze shimmer, Chantel. And I am going to go with this one today. What is so clever about them is they have a sharpener at the other end, so you can just sharpen it. Let me just do it over there, sharp. Just take that off the sharpener, pop the sharpener back in there, and we are good to go. I just put a little bit along underneath here, just a little. Don't want to go too heavy. Same there. It just makes my eyes look a little bit more awake, and then a little bit along the top up there. And if I need to tidy up, I can just use a cotton bud just to take off any excess. And then my favourite mascara in the entire world is Sweed Cloud Mascara in black. It is the best of the best, and actually I need to order another one because this one I've had for a while and I don't want to run out over Christmas. So I'm just going to pop my mascara on. So there we are. Skincare, makeup, all of that jazz. I have one secret to share with you. I haven't used them today. I use them in emergencies. Eye drops, brightening eyes. These ones are just from Boots. If you are tired, if you have been crying, if you've had, I don't know, an emotional moment, possibly drunk too much and your eyes are giving it away, these are amazing. I highly recommend them. Now, the other secrets to looking good to your skin and overall wellness is vitamins. I'm a huge fan, and I take the Wild Nutrition in the morning. I actually really stupidly forgot to bring my magnesium up here, which is a foolish error, but actually I've been sleeping really well. But I take vitamin D, omega-3, and then I'm actually taking their weight management supplement, which I think has been amazing at curbing the sugar cravings, the afternoon energy lull, and that hangry feeling. So I am really enjoying taking those at the moment. I either take these or the 45 plus women's supplement. you don't want to take both. There's quite a crossover between these and those, but these have got an amazing, in fact, it is hibiscus and I want to say lemon verbena in it, and it's this new formula which is incredible. And yes, Wild Nutrition sent me these to try, but it's not, I'm not working with them. They just sent me a bottle to try and said, you know, let us know what you think. And I think that they're really, really good. I have lost about 3 or 4 pounds and I'm feeling really happy and really good in myself. I'd been a little bit naughty with sugar, chocolate, crisps, all that jazz. And I'm just feeling a little bit squishy, a little bit frumpy, and I'm feeling so much better. And I think it's thanks to these. I'm also trying to be really mindful of what I'm eating. But we went out last night and I had a pudding. We went out the night before and I had langoustine and lobster. I'm enjoying my food, but I'm not snacking on biscuits and rubbish too much. Simon did give me a delicious bit of fudge while I was up here. I did enjoy that. But you are what you eat, and if you are eating good food, you're going to look so much better. So that is my top tip. But I'm going to be back with you this evening to do my nighttime skincare routine, and yeah, I'll see you then. Right, it is the end of the day and it is time for me to get ready for bed. I'm not actually going to bed now, but I'm going to take all of my makeup off and do my evening skincare with you guys. So, hair out of the way, I'm actually going to get rid of my collar. Just poke that down. The first thing I do is I use one of these Garnier reusable pads. This is, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old and they're great. And then I actually use the Garnier micellar water to take off my eye makeup. This is the best one that I have found. I have used another one which was made my eyes sore and made around my eyes sensitive. And this one I just love, and I just take off my eyes like so. Just very gently. You want to be so delicate around the eye area. Micellar water is also really useful if you get makeup on an item of clothing. It is great at getting that off. So that is what I do with my eyes. Then I do a double cleanse. The enzyme cleansing balm from Trinny London, Be Your Best, is really lovely, and I love using it. And just wipe the lid on my face. I pop quite a good amount on, like that. Smells amazing too. Smells really good. And I massage it in. I've been out for a long walk along the beach. It was quite windy, and it's been a lovely, lovely day. So I just give my face a really good massage with it, and I feel that this is a really sort of just a lovely, lovely cleanser. And I really kind of work it in. Give myself a little face massage at the same time. Then, using a cloth. This one is actually from a spa, and I love it. It's muslin on one side and toweling on the other side. And I just rinse my cloth, get that in some nice warm water, and get that ready. And then I've got a little bit of water on my hands, and this cleansing balm turns into a sort of slightly different consistency. Can you see when you add water to it? So it actually works quite well as a double cleanser in itself. Quite clever. And then using my cloth, I just wipe it all away. So then I do double cleanse, and this is the Balance Me Pure Skin Face Wash. And I love this one. Just a little bit on my hands like that. And I just go in and go for it like this. Again, it smells really lovely. And then I rinse that off. And that is me almost, oh, not quite done. I wash these every couple of days and I just pop them on the towel to dry for tomorrow. Then I put my nightwear on, get into bed. I've got nothing on my skin at all, having cleansed it, so it feels a little bit tight. But this is when I go in with my CurrentBody mask. I'm not going to be able to talk to you while it's on, but I pop this on like so, press the button, and then I relax for 10 minutes until it turns off. I lie back, I close my eyes. I can actually read a book. You can pop it onto your trousers or whatever and walk around with it. So that is what I do for the next 10 minutes. So then when my mask has finished, in fact, I should have taken my jewellery off before. I normally do that first. I am getting ready for bed a lot earlier. It is currently 6:45 p.m. and I normally do this, I don't know, somewhere between 9:30 and 10, but I'm going to be way too tired by the time it gets there. So then I go in again with the Roche-Posay Mela B3 serum for pigmentation and intensive anti-dark spot concentrate is what it says. So we go in with this first. And it feels really lovely on your skin. So that goes on. The Trinny eye cream goes on next. And just literally a little dollop there, there, and in that goes, like so. And then I let that concentrate soak in for a good couple of minutes. Right, that has soaked in, feels good. And then I use my Dermatica. This is my prescription one. And I just put 2 pumps onto the back of my hand and then on to my face like that. Sometimes I get a little bit of dryness and a little bit of redness with my prescription just as my skin's getting used to it, but I can just get in touch with Dermatica and say, can you alter my prescription if it's not agreeing with me, but actually on the whole it is very, very good. So I just pop that on, leave that to soak in again for a few minutes, and then the final thing I do, actually not quite the final thing, is I go in with my night cream. At the moment I'm using the Caudalie firming night cream. I love the L'Occitane Immortelle. It's a blue pot with a silver lid, but I was actually my local chemist and they stock both Caudalie and L'Occitane. They didn't have the L'Occitane one. They've stopped doing it in smaller stores, which is a little bit irritating. And I had totally run out of moisturiser. There wasn't time to order it online. And the chap in there, who I've known for years, he's super helpful. He was like, Charlie, I think you might really love this one. So I bought it, and actually this is a second pot. It comes with a refill, so you can get the refill pot, keep this, and just insert the refill, which is really clever. And this is the remainder of the second pot of it. I really, really like this too. And that was when I got the Caudalie spritz. So I've been using this now for, gosh, I don't know, probably about 3 months. In fact, I know exactly when, the end of July is when I had run out, needed some, and I also needed to get a present for a friend. And so I bought this and I love it, and I went in and I got the refill. So then I just pop on my night cream, and that is my skincare routine. Make sure that you take it down your neck, and I do have the Trinny London neck and decolletage cream, which I use I have to say, not religiously, but I do use it from time to time. I probably should get back to using it religiously, but make sure that you take your cream down your neck area. And then the very, very last thing I do is I pop some hair serum on. This is a full rescue. It's Biolage. This is the brand that Pamela Anderson is linked to. They sent this to me. I really, really like it. And if I don't use this, I use a sort of rosemary oil or a whatever oil, and I just put a few bits, a few drops, I should say, rather than bits, into my hair. And then it smells amazing too. I think you can only get this in America. I did look it up and I couldn't see where. I then give myself a little head and scalp massage, work that in, and then I either read my book, chat to my husband, or turn the light out, depending on how tired I am. So that is my morning, evening skincare routine and makeup. I really hope that that is helpful. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. For some of you, this is going to be very excessive. For others, you might have a good skincare routine going on, but I know that it's made a huge difference to my skin, so I'm sticking with it, and I like it, and I think that it's doing wonders. I mean, this is me. At the end of the day, I am quite tired. Not because I've been doing too much at all today, but I'm just tired because I'm resting and recharging. And I think without anything on my skin, I look pretty good for a 45-year-old. That's how I feel. So I'm sticking with the routine, and I hope that it's been helpful for you seeing the products that I use and love. But for now, I'm going to go and sit with the boys, enjoy being with them. When you're watching this, we'll be back home in Sussex, but it's I just thought it would be a good idea to film it while I was up here and away, and you could see what I brought with me and have been using while we've been away, and they're products that I use all the time at home and absolutely love.